Now for updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron, the Baron, Akerejola, joins us today. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, very good morning to you. Good morning to you, Vimbai. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning to you, Rufai. I know.
Wearing red tie.
Yes, okay. You should be saying. Yeah, celebrating their loss. At least throwing shades at people like Adefemi, certainly. Okay, let's get it started. Yesterday, the finalists were actually completed with Arsenal losing on the day. Paris Saint-Germain doing a number over Arsenal, both home and away, and Arsenal could not just understand. But the Parisians certainly celebrating because they've been able to rise above every kind of adversity they faced over the years. And English teams that came their way this season, they were easily dispersed from Manchester City to Liverpool to Aston Villa to Arsenal. So you look at that and you say to yourself that at the moment they'll be licking their lips and hoping that in Munich, all right, later on in May, that they will be able to do that. But this was a surprise guest, talking about Sir Alex Ferguson, there to watch some great football and watch the English side get knocked out in the UEFA Champions League. All right, away from that quickly, let's also talk about the fact that later on today, Manchester United will be hoping that they can punch their way through to the finals and take on Athletic Bilbao at Old Trafford today. And not forgetting Bodo Glimt welcoming Tottenham Hotspur. 3-1 was how we actually ended in the previous one. So let's see if they can actually fight back, talking about Bodo Glimt, because Fiorentina against Betis and Chelsea looking like they've got one foot in the finals. 4-1, they actually ended away from home in Juga Garden, and they'll be hoping that they can turn the screws later on today. On the home front, as it's nicely crescendoing, Abia Warriors were able to hold off to get a 1-1 draw on the day, and that might not be good for their opponents. But at the moment, of course, we know that Rebel Stars have actually won the league, and right now everyone seems to be jostling for a place on the continent and also trying to stave relegation. Let's look at actually the results that actually came in yesterday. And Ikorodu City beating Bayelsa United 3-2. 3SC beating Sunshine 1-0. Like we said, Niger Tornadoes in the relegation zone, playing out a 1-0 draw against Abia Warriors, and Rivers United beating Rangers. And you can actually see it on top of the table. Rivers United are second, Abia Warriors third. Ikorodu United just narrowly by a point, missing out on the top three there. At the bottom of the table, all right, staring relegation in the face, Niger Tornadoes, Aqua United, Sunshine Stars, Lobby already relegated. Away from that, the Flying Eagles they are not flying as much as they should, because yesterday against Kenya, they played out a 2-2 draw, and it's looking like this might not just be their tournament, because they will need to find their form and rhythm. After drawing with Morocco, they were hoping that they were going to disperse Kenya very easily, but they ended up playing out a 2-2 draw on the day. But that was more than enough to get them into the next round of the competition. Whether or not they can actually now go further than that is left to be seen. This was how we actually played out: Nigeria 2, Kenya 2, and Tunisia losing to Morocco in Group B. And when you look at the table, Morocco certainly topping, all thanks to the fact that they won 2 out of their 3 games, and Nigeria with 2 draws, 1 win, means that they are second in that particular group. Away from that, Cristiano Ronaldo, we know him as a superstar, but his younger self, Ronaldo Jr, has been called up to the under-15 Portuguese national team, and some would say that he's just replaying what the father did, because in 2004, in 2001, I beg your pardon, his father actually played for the under-15 national team, and right now he's being called up, and some say that you don't want to be a Ronaldo son, because certainly you'll not enjoy the perks of life and the beauty of having a super rich father, because the father is literally bearing on him to become a footballing machine, so to speak. But it's beginning to bear fruit. Of course, he's been tearing up the Al Nassr under-15 academy there in Saudi Arabia. And finally, Rufai, there are some damning statistics. Of course, according to the wealth in the in the US, they say Americans are spending more on sports betting than on investment. As a matter of fact, they say that for every dollar spent, the American household is spending two fewer dollars less on investment. So everyone seems to be focusing on sports betting. It's becoming a thing. Oh my God, it's becoming in Nigeria. When you look at it in Nigeria, the stats according to the last data from the National Lottery Trust Fund says that Nigerians spends $975 million on online sports betting daily.
$975 million
on sports betting, online sports betting daily.
So about 25 million shy of $1 billion every day on sports betting. Ecosystem.
It's the biggest in Africa, without a doubt. It's worth billions. So,
oh my God.
Take a cue from
So
that.
that means if we spend that daily, if you have 365 days in a year, we spend $365 billion every year.
Sports betting companies are just springing up left, right, and center. It's lucrative. The market is huge.
It's a crazy
and
market.
people, just imagine how many people, the punters that actually went out yesterday for the Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain game and saying this. It's going out of hand.
Very quickly, Ronaldo Jr. I love to see legacy. I love to see because especially here in Africa, we have an issue of the third generation curse, which is that you have a star, then the children enjoy, the proceeds of that stardom, and then by the time the grandchildren come along, most of it has disappeared, has been plundered. So I love to see when generations pass on the culture and the work ethic of being great.
The father has done that.
This thing that they say, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I think that this is a clear illustration of that popular maxim. Cristiano Ronaldo plays football. His eldest son, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr, at under 15, is also on his way to becoming a star. The other day we discussed Kai, that's Wayne Rooney's son.
Yes, Kai Rooney.
Okay, and we've also on this table discussed LeBron James and the two children, Bronny and Breeze, who both play basketball. So I think it's a father's hilarious delight to see your children following in your footsteps.
But sometimes the pressure that comes with it, because some have criticized LeBron James that he's not good enough, but because he has a superstar father.
I understand that part, but that the talent, shows up in the son.
True.
This is something that is instructive for parents. As for Arsenal, well, Mikel Arteta says that his team did well, and that Arsenal was the best team in the entire competition this season. But we look forward to seeing PSG and Inter Milan, on 31st May at the Allianz Arena in Munich. PSG, this is their moment, in my view.
Yes.
A very complete team, in my view. But thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.